Coming up, please welcome Jess Wright.
Woo!
All right.
I went back to the gym after about 7 weeks.
7 weeks, that's early.
Yeah, it was quite early to be fair. But I think I've kind of accepted now that my body will never be what it was before. It didn't even dawn on me that I'd get postnatal depression. I didn't even think about it. But for some reason, I had the biggest black cloud over me. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I just felt huge depression suddenly. We lost everything at one point. We had nothing. There's been certain things that have been said and whatever else. No one knows the truth.
She was an original TOWIE icon who basically shaped the era of Essex glamour. But these days, she's traded the sugar hut for school runs and is navigating a whole new chapter as a mum. From reality TV to reality of parenting, please welcome Jess Wright.
Woo!
All right. Wrighty's in the house. How you doing, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right.
I feel like
gorgeous.
we've had like an hour's chat before we
I know.
started this.
This happens all the time.
know,
Like
yeah.
we should just press record as soon as a guest sits down because
Yeah.
we've been through
Like
everything
pat
already.
lunches, we've been talking about Brittany,
Brittany, kids. Let's go straight. Let's talk
Holidays.
about you're a mother to Presley.
Yes.
Who's 4.
He's nearly 4, yeah.
And how is motherhood? Like, how has it gone? How do you feel like going from reality star, glamour, you're now a mum? Like, was it a bit of a transition for you?
I mean, a bit of a transition is an understatement.
Just a bit, yeah.
Mental. No, do you know what? It's such a huge journey, isn't it? Because you look back at like 10 years ago, I was 30. I didn't know what I was doing. I think I'd just left TOWIE and I was single. And I was just navigating this dating world. I had my own place. You know, I was here, there and everywhere. I was doing campaigns. I think I wrote books at the time, whatever it might have been. And then 10 years later, and I'm like mum to this little boy who's nearly 4. And the trials and tribulations that come with it is just crazy, right? It's a totally different world.
I don't think anyone really ever prepares anyone for being a mum. Like, no one really knows until you're in it yourself.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And now, having come out the beginning part for me was the hardest. We're at a really nice stage now. He's nearly 4. He's such a character. He's so clever and, you know, he's really bright and we have fun together. Like going out with him on a day out now to like, I don't know, the farm, whatever, I actually love and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, there was phases where you're like, they can't communicate. They're having tantrums. You don't know if you're coming or going. They need a nap.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's that time. They won't eat this. They won't eat that. So we're at a really nice phase. However, when I look back to the beginning, we had quite a lot of issues with him as well, health-wise. I like see new parents now and I'm probably so annoying to them because they're like, I can see in their eyes they're drained. It's the beginning. They're not sleeping. They're terrified of every move they make because this new little creature is like taking over their whole world. And the love you have is inexplainable. And I'm like, talk to me. What's the problem? Right, it could be reflux. It could be this. It could be that. Oh, no. Maybe you change this. And I
don't say
listen to myself.
Sleep when the baby sleeps.
No, I
or any
definitely
of that,
don't. Definitely not.
Someone's hungry, look. That's a hunger cry.
No, but I do listen to myself and I'm like, Jess, stop. You sound like one of those annoying people right at the beginning of when you had Presley and they were saying to you, it could be this, could be that.
I think what really annoys me though is when you have your baby and the baby smiles and it was always like, but my mum going, that's not a smile, that's
it's the
wind.
wind.
I'm like,
I
no,
know.
it's a smile.
Yeah.
I'm taking it. And then actually, apparently, when one is in those early years, especially like the toddler years when it's really hard, tantrums, you know, all of that, it's very normal to actually not enjoy being around your kids sometimes, but like, oh, for God's sake.
I so hear that as well. Like there's times when you're like preparing for a long journey or a flight when they're at a certain age and you're like the anxiety around it. And I've always been so brutally honest about parenting because there's people that sugarcoat it and, you know, it's like, oh no, it's the best thing that's ever happened. Of course it's the best thing that's ever happened to you. But the problem that comes with that is how much you love them. And that's what hurts because it's like every move you make, it's dependent on whether you're being a good mum, if they're getting what they need. Are they going to be okay? So to be honest and say, it's so tough at times. I had postnatal depression for about a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but after that I was fine. It just lifted.
Did
Thank
it?
God.
And what was that with a postnatal depression? How did you know that you had it? Like, how did you feel for that month?
I came home from the hospital and we were in the hospital for about 5 days in total because of this infection that they thought we had. He had to finish the course of antibiotics. And when which is also bizarre to me because now if going back, the fact that he was on antibiotics the day he was born just fills me with dread. But anyway, I came through the house and my mum and sister had set up all these balloons and the sun was shining in, but for some reason I had the biggest black cloud over me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was like going out of my house with like who I was and then coming back as a new person, or this whole, my hormones were just all over the place, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. I just felt huge depression suddenly, and it wasn't like I was obsessed with him, the baby. I was like, I just didn't want to let him go. It was just more this feeling of depression, and I had it for about a month, and it was hell. Absolute hell.
Did you take anything for it, or did it literally just lift, as you said?
Well, I was on antidepressants anyway. I have been for 15 years now. And I lowered the dose when I was pregnant.
Right.
I went really low on my dose, and then I started to wean myself back onto them, even though you didn't need to wean yourself. I thought I did, so I could have just started on the higher dose again, but I didn't. But yeah, I mean, a month, so it could have been that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think if you're prone to anxiety or depression, I think postnatal depression can sometimes come hand in hand. / maybe not. There's not any evidence as to either. But
and were you kind of mindful of that, knowing you'd been on antidepressants for a while?
It didn't even dawn on me that I'd get postnatal depression. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I don't even think throughout my whole pregnancy I thought I was going to get that.
Yeah.
So it came out of nowhere, really, for me.
Which it does. And actually looking back, I think I definitely went through postnatal anxiety.
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference would be between feeling this anxiety and depression. Maybe it's all joined together. But I remember just feeling, just really anxious and thinking I was doing everything wrong.
But I think that surely that's like, because I had that as well. And I'd be to the point where I'd message my friends who have got kids, especially two of them. And I was like, there's bubbles in the bottle. What do? I don't know what to do. And like now, if I had a second, I'd just be like,
exactly.
Make another one, whatever.
Yeah.
Literally wouldn't faze me
in
the slightest.
that moment, as a new mum,
in that moment, it was the end of the world.
Yeah.
If I got one thing wrong with that baby.
Yeah.
And he didn't poo either for like 10 days when we got home. It was a nightmare, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the reflux, the dairy allergy and that, he had constipation.
so you knew from early on about the dairy allergy?
Well, I didn't until about 5 weeks later when I went to a doctor and I was just like, help me. He's just like screaming every single day and he's not pooed for like however long. So I think new parenting, postnatal depression, and then he had reflux and the dairy allergy and constipation and tongue tie. All at once.
I feel anxiety.
Literally,
like constipation.
It's a lot.
An allergy for a baby.
Yeah.
Nobody would ever have said to you before you had your first baby, they might have an allergy. They might have reflux.
Didn't know any of this.
What's a tongue tie?
No.
Nobody didn't tell me about tongue tie. What does that even mean? You see
even
a specialist.
The whole oxygen levels, and having to go into, like all of it. There's so much.
Yeah, sorry. I literally sound like a walking depressant, but I actually like
not at all. This is motherhood.
This is
I just want to spread the word because it can happen, and it's happening more frequently now. I don't know if that's because of the change in the world and things like that, but I want to spread the word and be like, you are not alone, because so many people did reach out to me when I finally spoke out about it. I just wish I'd spoken out about it from day one, because I could have got more advice.
There's a stigma around it to go, oh, actually I really struggled and I had this, you say about a black cloud. I'm sure there's so many women listening going, I felt like when you were saying it, I was like,
because it's a blessing to have a baby. I was so lucky to have him, so lucky to have him, and I'd never say that I'd take any of it back. And actually, do you know what? I wouldn't even take back any of the stuff that he had wrong with him, because I learned so much. I now pass that information on to anyone and everyone that I can.
You're helping other people.
And please God, if I had another one, it would be the complete opposite. Wouldn't have any of those issues, but you just don't know.
And do you think, would you love to have another baby? Is that something that you think about?
I would like to have another one. I'm just, as you can probably understand, a little bit terrified because of what happened first time round. But I do, I wouldn't, again, like I always say, it is what it is. It's taught me so much, and, you learn, you grow and whatever. But I would like to have one more, especially a sibling for Presley.
Yeah.
He literally said to me yesterday, it was so sad. We were with my nephews and they were going one way, we were going out for some food. And I was like, we're going to have to say goodbye now because we're going for food. He was like, I just want a friend, Mummy.
What was it like growing up in your family? Was it like big egos? Was it quite competitive? Because you're all
it was
very
always competitive
talented.
In terms of Mark and Josh played football, so that was their thing.
Yeah.
And I danced and did singing, acting, all that kind of thing. So I'd do the shows every other month, and the boys would have a football game every Saturday. And that was just it. We were busy. There was 3 of us, and then Natalia came along when I was 15. So there's a huge gap. Josh was 11. My mum just decided to have another baby.
Oh, I quite like that.
Like 10, 11 years later.
Babysitters on tap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's quite smart.
So we all just brought her up with my mum. And when it was a girl, I was so relieved. My dad called me from the hospital and he was like, it's a lovely baby girl. And I was like, thank the Lord. Because I had 2 brothers. So I was like,
of course.
I was playing cricket and football in the garden growing up.
And then your sister-in-law, Michelle Keegan.
Yeah.
Oh, is she lovely?
Yeah, she's amazing.
And you guys get on well and everything?
Yeah, we all get on well. We get on great, and we're actually really close to Michelle's family. So
lovely.
It's just one big family, which is
and
lovely.
Is her family based in Manchester?
Yes, but they come down a lot and stay with
that's lovely.
With us, Michelle.
And how nice for her, or the little girl, to grow up seeing both sets of grandparents, like being close. We're very lucky with both of our parents get on, and there's a lot of families that don't.
Absolutely.
And it's like, it makes
it's really nice.
So much easier.
My other sister-in-law as well, Holly, who's married to Josh, we're really, really close to her family as well, because my family grew up with her family.
Oh, no that's
so
really
it's
nice.
Extremely, we're all kind of, yesterday,
you actually
like I said,
have the village.
It was actually all parts of the family together. So,
you have
so
that.
when you're with Presley and you go to like a family gathering, it must be that really nice feeling. And it sounds ridiculous, but when you know that he can go off and play, but there's like loads of adults that care about him because they're all family.
Yeah.
So you could just sit down and be like, oh, he's safe, he's running around, and you could just sit down for 10 minutes and think, I can decompress now.
Yeah, it's nice when we get all the kids together because they love each other. But the boys we call them the ferals because there's just 3 boys so close in age. Josh and Presley are 3 months apart, and then Dustin's 11 months younger than Josh. So
brilliant.
He was really premature and she got pregnant really quickly. So they're so close that I think they're Irish twins.
Yeah.
So they love each other to bits, but of course there's the odd because they're so close. They're at that age as well where they're like, I want that toy. I want that toy. And it's like, oh my God.
Course.
But and then you've got Palmer, bless her, who's just a little adorable angel. And the first girl.
How old is she?
She has just turned 1 in March.
Wow. Into everything. That age where they start like learning to walk, climbing
opening everything.
Yeah.
God,
but she's a really good girl, whereas the boys have been very, very, very energetic.
So let's talk about your TOWIE days, because you were on the show. It was about 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years.
And you're like the original.
Yeah, so I started on it in 2000 and, I don't know. 2010. I heard that, yeah. Started in 2010, left at 2015. Wild. I was 25 when I started. So it's a real big transitional part of my life. I think 25 to 30 as a woman as well.
I think so, definitely.
It's really quite pinnacle, isn't it? And obviously I had relationships on there and things like that. So it was quite a whirlwind. I can't even look at clips now.
Can you not?
No, I cannot look at clips. Oh my God, it just, I don't even recognise myself. I'm like, who are you? Like I was a young girl. I was a bit broken from a toxic relationship before, I think. I don't know. I just, toxic relationships growing up. I was still a young girl. Like now I'm a completely different person, obviously.
And did you feel a bit forced to be a certain character on there or not?
No, not really. Not really. I just think I didn't really know who I was.
Yeah,
so I was just going with the flow.
And isn't it a lovely thing about getting older is that we definitely grow into who we are. We know who we are. Like I definitely feel I am much more comfortable with myself now than I ever was in my 20s.
Definitely.
Like I wasn't on TV how you were in my 20s, but I'm pretty sure if I was, I don't know if I could look at those clips either.
No, I cannot. I just can't watch them. And also, you've got to remember as well, it was an edited show. So, they edited it how they wanted to. And the scenes we were in, a lot of them, in real life, we wouldn't have been in those scenes. But because we're on that show, you are.
Yeah.
So there's, that you're in things that you wouldn't necessarily be in. And you're having chats you wouldn't necessarily have.
Yeah.
So, you just kind of, I can't watch them.
You're like the Kardashians of Essex.
Oh, I don't know about that.
But you are the original. Like, I used to watch it when you were on it, and it was like, because I'm from up north, and we used to be like, hell, are all the women down south that glamorous? Because we're all like, we're in our wax jackets and Wellington boots up north, and we were seeing everyone with it.
But hasn't it reversed though? Like, I'm in I'm in scruffs and Wellington boots and hardly a scrap of makeup all weekend now. Like whereas back then, it was all the eyelashes.
Is it like that in Essex still? Like, is it a thing?
I don't know. I don't.
The glamour and like the
it's definitely calmed
drop
down
off.
For sure.
Right.
No, it's definitely calmed down for sure. But then maybe that's because I'm looking at women my age now.
Yeah, maybe.
For the 20, but then again, 25-year-olds, Gen Z.
Yeah.
They're clean living. They're not in the clubs coming in at 3 in the morning.
It's true. Yeah.
Going out 5 times a week like I was at one point. Like they're not
Those
that.
were the days.
Those were the days. And there's no
days.
evidence. Well, there isn't for me anyways. No evidence of my
just disposable cameras were like lingering around and then you'd have to wait a week to get them developed and like spend.
And then you'd be like, oh my God.
It's like, oh, amazing that we didn't put the flash on. No, can't
but it was
see
just
that
like bright orange faces and massive eyelashes. It was just, but then that's all everyone knew then. No one knew about contouring.
No.
Yeah. Concealer was just used for spots. Now everyone, it's under the eyes. Like it's just mental. Or lipstick. With gloss on top.
Yeah.
If you'd had too much Lamborghini, you'd be like, oh, put my concealer on my lips. And you'd be like, give a off we go.
So how did you feel after giving birth or during pregnancy, seeing your body change and just embracing your new body?
I kind of just went with it. I wasn't too hard on myself. I think I went back to the gym after about 7 weeks, slowly.
7 weeks, that's early.
Yeah, it was quite early to be fair, but I didn't do anything strenuous. It was just more like just to be at the gym and
probably
be like,
headspace, isn't
get
it?
far away.
And then I think I've kind of accepted now that my body will never be what it was before I had Presley. My weight might be at some point, but I don't think my body is. I don't think I've got that tightness that you have before. But I don't know. I think everyone's different. I see the other women and they're like, some of them look better. And I'm like, how?
I think it's genetics though as well, isn't it? Like you can, like I know my body, I could, if I wanted to, I could work out solidly, and I don't think I'd ever get that kind of like really like ripped.
And it's age as well. Like if I was a 25-year-old mum, my body would probably be slightly different. I'm 40, so it is what it is. You have to roll with the punches, and at our age, it just is.
But that's a nice way to look at it, because otherwise you could think, oh, I really want to look the way I did. And now it's like when you've had a child and you think, actually, like it doesn't really matter. Like I've grown that and I'm okay with it.
It's miraculous,
and then a couple more kids down the line, I just think, do you know what? It. I'm at that stage now where it's like I'm not chasing who I was. No. I don't want to be who I was when I was 30.
Same.
Like I'm quite happy to be 40.
Oh my God, stop. My husband, he's like, every time I put on a pair of like mum jeans or like balloon or parachute, whatever, he's like, what are they? Because he doesn't understand, like obviously he's not into fashion. He doesn't know that these are now in fashion, whereas, skinny jeans aren't really on trend anymore, even though, I wear whatever I want anyway. But it makes me laugh because, 10 years ago, it was all tight stuff. But most of my jeans, like mum jeans, are a bit baggy or balloon, parachute, whatever. And he's just always like, he's quite funny and he's always taking the piss. He's like, are they slim fits? And I'm like, get with the times. I'm not going to walk out in a Britney-esque tight pair of jeans and a crop top. That's just not what's cool anymore.
Yeah.
The good old days though, when
She's
we
back
did.
in rehab, isn't she?
She is in rehab. I'm actually really pleased that she is. Yeah, she was under that conservatorship.
Is she like that because of the conservatorship?
Yeah.
Or was she like that so they did the conservatorship?
Yeah, is that why your dad was like, listen, I need to step in and protect you?
I can't help but think that she's messed up because of all that conservatorship. Can you imagine what she went through? Imagine if she like headlined Coachella in a few years because she got herself back to the beds.
I really, really hope there's a happy ending here.
I'll never forget seeing the first Baby One More Time video at home, and I was just like, whoa.
Oh, for me it was the Slave for You.
Yeah.
Oh,
Snake.
Yeah, I mean, she was the one that taught me to wear really low-cut jeans and
and a chunky belt.
Yeah,
those were the days.
Those were the days.
She always had the best stomach.
Yes, the best stomach. Talking about thongs, can we talk about the whole thong scenario?
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah. Oh, we don't.
How long ago did it happen?
I think it was about a month ago now.
Oh. We always say to each other after we have a podcast, we call it the 3 Ps, which is the post-podcast panic. We're like,
oh God,
did I say something I shouldn't have said? Should I have said that? Or
I always get that when I leave a podcast that I've done for someone else, because I always think to myself, oh my God, did I say one? Because when you take out like the clips, everything can be taken out of context, can't it?
Our first clip that went out on this podcast, the first clip that came out, I said something about my son throwing up at a kids club, and I knew that he faked it, so I didn't go and pick him up. And if you listened to the entire podcast, you'd realise that actually the story wasn't as bad as it was, but it really, really upset me. So I can imagine that you've been through something similar, and yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. No one wants to be, demonised or judged or whatever, but I think,
but we always do though. Damned if we do, damned if we don't.
Yeah.
What do you think is one of the biggest misconceptions people think of you when they see you in TOWIE compared to now?
I don't think anyone knows the real me, really. I don't think anyone knows the real me. I'm so much more than just that character.
Yeah. Would you do it again? Like, if you could go back, would you have done it again?
Absolutely. It's given me the best, I've had such an amazing, fruitful time in this industry. I have been like amongst the most wonderful company. I have been to the most beautiful places because of that show. And ultimately, we did have we've got a huge following. So I wouldn't change it for the world. It was the first of its kind. It was an absolute wow because no one had ever seen anything like it before.
Yeah, it was. It was one of the first, wasn't it?
It was. So I think there was Jersey Shore in the US, and then it was TOWIE, and then after that, everything else come along. So it was quite, mad that it was out there. But
would you do like another reality series?
I don't know. It would depend, really.
I see you on something like Strictly.
Oh yeah, just Strictly would be amazing. I love dancing. So
I know your brother was on it. But
Mark
I totally see you on it.
Oh,
one day get you on there.
Yeah.
I mean, like your whole family is like mental in terms of how successful everybody is.
You.
Like, but seriously though, and like all of your family, are, like beautiful, amazing.
Oh, bless you. I don't know about
done
that.
So well, but genuinely,
I think one of the misconceptions for us all is that, there's been certain things that have been said and whatever else, no one knows the truth.
Yeah.
And actually, like, we are just a family that have had a really mixed bag of wealth and success in our past. We lost everything at one point. We had nothing. We earned it back. We did this, we did that. We are just a normal, believe it or not, like when those doors are closed, we're just a normal family. Like we really, really are. And we're not.
And you're very you're very tight, aren't you? Like you will get on and you're
but we're also equally like so welcoming of others. Like we really are. We've got a lot of friends that we have a lot of close friends, ones we've had our whole lives. We just like to be nice. And I think sometimes when you're in the industry, you can easily get torn down and people have misconceptions and they might have judgments and whatever else. But ultimately, like no one really knows us. Like we're just normal.
And how often do you see all your family? Are you like Sunday dinner, get everybody round kind of thing, all the kids
We were all together yesterday. Most Sundays we do. Not every Sunday. There'll always be some that aren't there. But we're a very close-knit family. Yeah. We've never had any crosswords, thank God, really, like at all.
Not even with your sister?
Oh, no, we might have the odd quarrel, but not really.
Oh, God, when I was growing up with my sister,
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. Me and my siblings have had rows growing up, absolutely. But in terms of like now, and we're all adults and stuff, we've never, we don't fall out.
Yeah, I fell out with my sister the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, she took my bottle of wine.
Love that.
Without asking. I was just like,
my sister would never take mine. She's a Gen Z. I've got to convince her to have a glass. I'm like, just have a glass. Come on.
You just presume like, oh God, and you say, if my kids do what I did when I was 15, then you think they're probably not going to.
No, they wouldn't.
They're going to be doing a run and tracking it on Strava.
I'm actually
having a matcha, saying to the Pilates class.
I'm actually saying to my teenager son, I'm like, just go out, do something. Yeah. Just go.
There's nowhere for them to go though now, is there?
No. Any parenting fails?
I must have some parenting fails. I must have lots of parenting fails. He slept through the night from when he was 1 till about 2.5. And then he's had a regression. And now it's just a thing to have like 2 or 3 bottles again in the night.
Yeah, do you know what?
And I accommodate it. I put cup holders on the side of the bed for him to reach for in the night.
I've been there.
He's got cup holders with bottles in it.
Like a hamster in a cot.
Literally.
Like,
I think, honestly, I don't think
this is not okay.
It's survival. It's like everyone needs their sleep. Yeah. I think that's...
But I know I'm feeding the beast. I'm like literally the beast. I'm feeding this whole it's just a habit. It's just like, I need to go back to sleep. I need a bottle. And I'm like, you don't need a bottle, but it's comfort. And I've fed that by allowing it and accommodating it. And now I've gone so far backwards, I can't get out.
And do you get up in the night then?
The problem is that even now that he's got his bottles to hand, he's like, if he can't see one or he's a bit scared, he's quite a scaredy cat. Like he's like, Mummy. So every night I have to at least go in there, settle him and go back to bed or stay in there or it's relentless. We tried to say that the bottle fairy had been, and we did the whole... I did a performance pretty much in the kitchen. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, I could have won an Oscar. It was like, she's come. And then I Googled a picture of the bottle fairy. And I was just like, this is what she looks like, but we can't see her. He was just like, okay. Bedtime came. What happens?
You're being very realistic here, Mummy. I want you to perform a little bit more.
Literally. And then bedtime came and meltdown happened. Didn't give in. Gave him a bottle. And then through the night, tried to stop it. But then I'm like, we're waking up the whole house. He's going to have a meltdown. I'm going to end up giving him the bottle anyway. It's 2 a.m, for God's sakes. Yeah. Just have the bottle.
And also,
it's so hard.
Sleep, but it's sleep. It's like sleep is just the most important thing.
And,
And can you talk to us a bit about his? You said he needs open heart surgery at some point. So what's he going through?
So when we going back to the beginning, I won't bore you too much with it. But he had a heart murmur when we went to the doctors about something else, and we were like, "That's really weird." But they were like, "Sometimes in children it can happen when they're not well." So we went to a specialist, had it checked, and it turns out he's got a congenital heart disease, which you can imagine I was just floored at the time. They in his heart, in your valve, you've got 3 leaflets letting the blood flow through. He's only got 2. So his heart has to work harder to pump blood around the body.
Right.
And eventually that valve will wear out. So they have to change the valve. So yeah, it's pretty intense. We found out 2 years ago this month, actually. And I would say for the first year, I was bad and grieving it and just a complete wreck. We hosted a ball this time last year to raise money for Brompton Fountain Charity, which is the charity that we're with. And after that, I think my world came crashing down, because I think what had happened was I was kind of keeping myself together in the organisation of this ball, and kind of just putting on this sort of like strong, we're going to do this ball. That was the milestone. We got to the ball, and then after that, I think I had a bit of a breakdown, because I just think it all hit me.
Processed it at that point, right?
Yeah. He's in a good position. We are essentially, if someone can get to 50 and not know they've got bicuspid aortic valve, that's what it's called, because their valve isn't as worn out when they're born. It depends the levels of your valve when you're born. It can be, and there's also the stenosis of the valve, so the thickening of it. Also whether your valve has a leak. There's lots to it. When the doctor, we had the appointment with the doctor, then we did a Zoom just to go over everything again. And I'll never forget the words when he said, your son will need open heart surgery within the next so many years. We'll be lucky if he gets to 10 before he has it.
Right.
Now, as a mum, first-time mum, as you can imagine, I just was like, how do you expect me to navigate this and take on that information? Like, the world is now a different place. Like, we moved house just before this, and there's a video of me showing him his little playroom. And every time I watched it back, it felt like it was a different world, and I hated the fact that I couldn't be her again.
Yeah.
I wanted to be back there again in that moment where none of this existed. So it was really difficult, but at the same time, like, we're lucky that we found it, and we are under really good care. And at the moment, we go for checks every 4 months now. It used to be 2, then it was 3, now it's 4 months. At the moment, we're at a point where the levels are actually quite good. And not only have they stayed the same with his growth, because as you grow taller, that's how your heart develops. If you don't, if you go in between their ages, sometimes you go and check and he's not really grown much taller, so there's not really going to be too much change in the heart. But as he's grown taller, his heart levels have actually stayed the same. And believe it or not, last time we went, they declined slightly, which is really, really good.
Okay, good.
And it doesn't happen often. So we just have to keep our fingers crossed and pray that every time we go, the doctor says the same thing to us. We're okay. We're okay. We're okay. Good. Until the point where he says we're on the down, the decline, and it gets to a certain level.
And that will be to replace the valve?
Yes. Sometimes they can do a balloon procedure where they put something in via almost like a catheter, if you think it's in the leg or up here, and they can expand the valve. They can just make it slightly bigger, and then that kind of sustains for a couple of years, and then you do the surgery. So sometimes they can delay it, but it depends on whether it's worth doing that. If there's a leak, there's lots of things to it. So we just have to hope and pray that he gets to our goal now, it was 10. Now our goal is like a teenager.
Yeah.
That's what we hope.
You're so humble. Like, I was really excited to meet you because I used to watch you on TOWIE and I used to absolutely love it. Like I say, because where I come from, it was like a totally different world, and it was like the glamour and excitement. But like, you are just really like
very
chilled
down to earth.
and really humble and down to earth.
Yeah,
you are.
Thanks.
And it's just nice talking about like mum life, parenting, because we're all the same. Like,
I'm just really honest, sometimes too honest, and then I worry about the backlash online. I'm like, oh gosh. You need to listen to the whole thing, don't you? So that
and get the
taken
whole
out of
context. So there's just a middle-aged man with a small winky that's like, oh, you shouldn't have kids then. And you're
small
like,
winky.
You shouldn't be on the internet, Steve.
Because Presley was unwell at the beginning, it's like I'm moaning about him, and I'm like, I'm not moaning, I'm just literally saying what we went through, and I'm trying to spread the word that in the end it's going to be all right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I think as well, like, it's such, first child is so scary, whereas I can imagine second, you are literally like done this before. Don't get me wrong, it's hard, but like you don't panic as much.
I definitely
not as much of a shock.
Yeah.
Would you rather do Strictly or I'm a Celebrity?
Okay, so I'd love to do Strictly because I love to dance. I've never done ballroom before and it's my dream to do it. So I'd love to do Strictly. However, the Jungle, I think, would test me. Both would really test me, but the Jungle would really test me because I'm so scared of everything. When it comes to, like, I'm not scared of heights, but I'm terrified of creatures, creepy crawlies, water with like creatures in there. But I feel like I would grow so much from that challenge. And it would be like a huge detox for me as well. So both for different reasons, really. Strictly just for the sheer passion and love of dancing and performing. And then the Jungle for the challenge. I love a challenge.
Do you reckon if you did do Strictly, you would go to Mark for tips?
Yeah, I mean, when he did it, he didn't like dancing. It was completely the opposite. He was football. He couldn't care less about dancing. But he threw himself into it and he got to the final or semi-final. I can't remember. I think final.
Oh, he did pretty well then.
Yeah. And so you'd never expect that. But I think that's what that show is about. That's what's so wonderful about it. Like, you get such a journey on it for a lot of people, and that's what's so nice to watch.
Oh, I mean, it's my favourite show.
I bet you like that. What's he doing this week? What's our family like?
I know.
Sundays, like, what are you doing?
I think he left TOWIE and he did the Jungle first.
Oh, did he?
He did the Jungle as well, and he got to the final of that.
And what did he prefer?
Oh, I think he struggled in the Jungle because of the hunger and the boredom.
Right.
Yeah.
I honestly, I could never.
I bet you like that. Mark, can you stop doing the things I'd like to do?
Stop I was stealing my thunder.
I went to Australia, me and my sister, with my mum and dad, and we were there when he came out. That was really emotional because he'd been in there 3 weeks and he was only young. I think he must have been about 25 or 26. And then Strictly, I used to go most weeks with my mum and Michelle. So it was a joy to watch. I was obviously sat there like, oh my God, he's living my dream right now. Like that, it's just wonderful. But then at the same time, I just was so proud of him.
I wonder what's going to happen with Strictly because it's all having a mix up, isn't it?
Yeah, and the new hosts as well. Who do you think is going to be hosting?
I have no idea. No idea.
No.
Mark?
No. I've heard a few rumours of certain people, but God knows.
What rumours have you heard?
Oh, I couldn't say. I
Oh,
couldn't
you're not.
say. Not that it matters because I'm sure they're probably not even real, but just... Yeah, I'll tell you after.
Tell me after. Can I just ask you quickly about your beauty skincare routine because your skin is glowing.
Oh, thank you.
Right, what are your secrets? What are your go-tos?
I really love a good overnight mask.
Yeah.
The Elemis do a really beautiful superfood facial overnight. I use Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair followed by their night cream. Not every night, but say like every other night. What else do I do?
You do red light therapy, right?
Red light therapy.
Yeah.
I recently as well, I go to a lady called Sadaf Jafari.
I go to her.
She's the best.
She's
the best.
Phenomenal.
I had Morpheus 8 with her.
Okay, was it painful? Because I'm too scared to try
Morpheus 8. So I was always terrified for years and I always kept hearing Morpheus 8, Morpheus 8. I went for it with Sadaf and I've got to be honest, the first 2 times I felt like it was really painful. The last time, not at all.
Where did you have it?
On my face.
Right, okay.
I think like just here as well.
Yeah.
What is this? Sorry, I don't know.
Am I like little needles.
Yeah, it's like loads of little needles, and it basically like simulates
to get the skin to resurface.
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah, like collagen comes back and everything. So I go to her for facials. I've not been there for a while actually. I really need to go and see her. She's on my list of things to do. And so we have talked about Morpheus 8.
Go for it. Honestly,
But she keeps saying,
I've been having that, and I've had my third one now. You have 3.
Yeah.
And I really think I've noticed a difference in tightness.
Really?
Because I don't have fillers or anything like that. I've had Botox.
Yeah.
But other than that, all I've had is the Morpheus 8.
What would you never get done?
What would I never get done? I wouldn't have fillers, I don't think. I don't think it'd suit me. I don't know. I don't know. I say never, I don't know. What would I never get done?
I don't think I'd get fillers. I think fillers is the one thing that scares me.
Me too.
It's just because, when you see images of some celebs who get fillers, and I don't know, it just looks like they've had fillers.
Yeah.
And I think that's what scares me.
And that's what, where you can get in the lips, where it's like to do that, like a...
I'm thinking more like in the face.
Yeah, like filler in the face, because you know how some people have it for certain reasons. I don't know. Never say never.
Jess, what a pleasure. Thank you so much for being.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. You've been wonderful. You are very beautiful inside and out.
Oh, that's really sweet. Right back at you.
We're very humbled to have you on our show. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Jess Wright, everyone.
Thanks for tuning into this week's episode. If you enjoyed the chat, do us a massive favour, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload. We're dropping new episodes every Monday and Wednesday.